The Boston Celtics have some interesting team dynamics. If I'm them, I'm going win now next year because they're not going to be able to keep this team together for a freaking decade. That's just not simply going to be the case. I know a lot of their guys are young, but if you think about it, in a couple years, Jaylen Brown's going to be eligible for a nice contract. He's going to want a close to max type deal. Shit, after Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum the year after that. So I'm thinking in theory, with you already paying Al Horford great money, I'm thinking in theory with you already paying Kyrie Irving, you're going to have to pay him max money. His contract is up after the 2019 season. You're paying Gordon Hayward max money already for the foreseeable future. Yo, you kind of got to be in like a semi-win-now mode. You're going to probably lose a guy like Marcus Smart this summer. You're probably going to either have to make a decision on Terry Rozier in the next year or two. Like, they got a lot of things coming up. And if I were them, I'd be in win-now mode. Now, what do you mean by win-now mode, TALIAFERRO? I mean, let's go all in. Let's maybe trade away a couple of these pieces if we can get better and get away from one of these big-time decisions in the next couple of years. Because you know those big-time decisions, they wreck locker rooms, right? If you got to trade Jaylen Brown or you lose Jaylen Brown in free agency, people start to lose faith in the organization if you just let them walk, or you lose Jason Tatum. You know what I mean? So I'm thinking here, if I'm the Celtics, I say, yo, I want to keep as much of this team together as I can. Can I trade Gordon Hayward and Terry Rozier and a pick, because they got two good picks next year. They got Sacramento's pick next year and another pick as well. Will that do it, San Antonio? Can we get Kawhi? You get an all-star in Gordon Hayward, who's coming back from injury, right? You get Terry Rozier, who proved that he could be a starting point guard under a good coach, which you'll still have Popovich, who's a good coach. You could replace him with you can replace him in the starting lineup with Tony Parker, Patty Mills, or whatever you want to do, or maybe even play Terry Rozier at the 2. He's athletic. And you can get another pick. If Sacramento's going to be bad, which we all believe they will be for the foreseeable future, you'll get another top 5 pick likely. So I think if I'm Boston, I'm getting rid of Gordon. And I know it might hurt the team because Kyrie Irving and Gordon Hayward never got a chance to play a whole game together, and Kyrie wasn't healthy for the postseason. I'm thinking about making that decision. You got too many forwards on that team right now. Gordon, Jason, and Jaylen Brown, they just don't work. And right now, Jason Tatum looks like he has the potential to be a superstar. I'm not giving up on him, so you rule him out. So it's down to Jaylen Brown and Gordon Hayward. And I like the upside from Jaylen Brown a little bit more than what I can get from Gordon Hayward. And that's just me. Like, Gordon Hayward can knock down shots. Maybe you want to keep him at the 2, but I want a guy that could defend at an elite level. And Jaylen Brown might not offensively ever get to where Gordon Hayward is at, but he'll be pretty darn close, and he'll for sure be a better defender than Gordon Hayward. I can get Gordon Hayward, Jason Tatum at the 3, and I can go trade and get Kawhi Leonard at the 4. That's my nucleus from 2 through 4 for the future, right? I get up under the Gordon Hayward and Terry Rozier contract. Maybe I can now even keep Marcus Smart on my roster. I got Kyrie Irving and Al Horford. Kyrie Irving is an MVP candidate every year. You put him with Kawhi, who's beating them? That team is built to not only destroy LeBron on whatever team he's on if he stays in Cleveland. That team is built to beat Golden State, sir. They have more players than Golden State that can score on the court. That is a matchup nightmare for every team in the NBA right now. The Boston Celtics tried to trade for Kawhi. A lot of people don't know this. Danny Ainge made an offer to the Spurs for Kawhi Leonard around the trade deadline last year. Now, the Spurs quickly shut it down, and they never responded with a counteroffer. And we don't know what exactly was in that offer, but that's a fact. Danny Ainge of the Celtics has went after Kawhi before. If he went after him in the past, when Kawhi and there wasn't a lot of friction in the organization with the Spurs, and there's the utmost friction in the organization right now between Kawhi and the San Antonio Spurs, and Kawhi said he wants out and he doesn't want to play with Pop anymore, he doesn't want to play for Buford anymore. I'm trying to make my trade now because Boston can offer a better package than the Lakers or the Clippers. We've heard that Kawhi wants to play in Los Angeles. They have a better package than the Philadelphia 76ers. The Celtics have the best package available. Period. They're the only team in the NBA that theoretically could take a risk on trading for Kawhi Leonard for 1 year, because his contract is up after next year. He doesn't let's say he doesn't sign long term with Boston. You can play that with the amount of assets you got. You go after a championship for 1 year, as long as Kawhi is healthy, and you either probably get to the NBA Finals, which Kawhi hasn't been there in about 4 or 5 years. You probably get to the NBA Finals, or you probably win the whole thing altogether. And then I find it hard to believe that Kawhi is going to leave another great coach. He's going to leave a great organization, a great point guard in Kyrie, to go to Los Angeles after you just won a championship or got to the NBA Finals. I find that hard to believe. And if Kawhi doesn't get to LA, and if Paul George doesn't get to LA, likely you stop LeBron from going to LA. So why would you even be going to LA anyway? I'm not saying that the Lakers will miss out on every free agent next year, but I'm just saying. I think Boston believes when they get you in their organization, they can convince you to stay. They can convince you to sign long term. That's essentially what they did with Kyrie. They had 2 years to sign Kyrie, and Kyrie loves Boston. He doesn't. I'm watching an interview with Kyrie with Ebro in the morning. He doesn't sound like he want to leave anytime soon for Boston. He's definitely going to sign on long term as long as his body holds up. I'm just saying, man. The Celtics have went after Kawhi in the past, and it would make no sense for them to go after him this summer when he's clearly available. There's clearly friction in the organization, and they have the most assets in the NBA by far to give up and still keep what they have together if you lost Kawhi Leonard next summer for nothing. Because worst case, if you trade Gordon, Terry Rozier, and a pick, worst case, you slip out of Gordon Hayward's contract, right? And you're able to keep Kyrie, Jaylen Brown, and Jason Tatum long term, which I still will be a damn good team, likely probably the favorite to win the East for the next 5 to 8 years with Al Horford. And they'll still have a little money over to sign somebody else. Little money. Or at least get some comparable pieces. You don't need much with those guys because I believe Jason Tatum's going to be a superstar. So I'm just saying, man, you could kind of find a way. We know Kyrie and Gordon love each other. They really want to play with each other. But that's like a way to sneak out. And I don't think Kyrie would be that upset if the Celtics went in a different direction and snagged a freaking top 5 player in Kawhi Leonard. Y'all talk to me about this video in the comment section below. Please hit the notification and the subscribe button for more exclusive quality content like this. NBA free agency is right around the corner, and I expect the Boston Celtics to be actively trying to pursue Kawhi Leonard.